Vikings fans? We are here with you guys today, hanging out with Vikings cornerbacks Holton Hill and Kris Boyd. How are you guys both doing today?
Oh, we're both
good. So what we're doing is we're connecting with some former and some current players on our Draft Day Diaries. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you guys because you two were actually friends. You've been friends for a long time, and you actually committed to Texas together, so long before the Minnesota days. Kris, how would you kind of describe your friendship with Holton and how far back it's gone?
I mean, you go back, like, way back. It's more like my brother, I would say. I don't really see it as a friendship. Like, we grew, like, so close, like, and it's crazy because it's kind of been like that since we first met.
Yeah,
like, it was like a natural connection, and, like, I remember, like, exactly how it happened. We had met, like, at the NRTC camp, getting ready to go to the opening. I had overslept and missed the one in Dallas. And it's just a coincidence that I had to go to Houston, and I met him, and I was like, "Oh, bro, like, it's my first time in Houston." Like, and I always, like, grew up, like, close to the tradition down here. I'm gonna have to come back. And he was like, "All right." And I know for a moment he kind of didn't believe me, but when I popped up at his house, he had seen me the address. Yeah, he had seen me the address, and then, like, we in high school, like, he wouldn't think nothing of it. But then I just pop up outside. I'm like, "Bro, I'm outside." I called him. He, like, run outside. I'm like, "I told you I was coming." Like, ever since then, like, we just been rocking with each other.
Holton, is there anything that he left out, or is that about it?
That's about it. It's been my man. It's been my man since day one. Rocking out together since high school. Went to Texas together, and blessed and fortunate enough to be on the same team with him in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Holton, did you guys ever talk about the prospect of being in the NFL together?
It's crazy because we always, like, talked about it, like, being in the NFL, like, having dreams, you know, like, working hard, like, back in college and high school, being in the NFL. But I would have never thought that we would have been on the same team in the NFL, you know.
Oh, hey, this is crazy. This is something nobody knows. When I got called to get drafted, I had just hung up the phone.
We just got off the phone.
We had just got off the phone.
We did.
And I got, like, a call from Minnesota, and I was like, wow. And
then
then the discussion of us being on the same NFL team, I promise you, we probably only talked about that once or twice.
Yeah, one time.
That's crazy. I love your guys' story. And Kris, you're jumping the gun a little bit, but we are gonna talk about you guys getting. No, you're good. You're good. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. And I think it's so awesome that you guys have gone through this entire journey together. It's obviously a very unique thing. But of course, you guys were a year apart coming into the NFL. So Holton, what was that kind of like for you to go through that pre-draft process, pre-NFL process, a year ahead of Kris?
Yeah, it was kind of like a different experience for me, you know, coming out of high school. Obviously, we went into college together, so just, like, branching off and just, like, trying to, like, find a way and just, like, finding, like, my place, like, on a team and, like, within the NFL. And the, like, transition was okay, you know, like a little like humps in the road, but, you know, like, we, like, made it through. And, you know, so I'm just, like, fortunate enough that even though he's on, like, in the NFL, but we're on the same team, so I could just vice versa, like, just like he does, you know, like, we help each other out, you know, like, give us pointers and, like, you know, just want the, like, best for each other, like, see each other, like, do great things.
And Kris, talk about what that was like for you. You know, you're not going through that process yet, but watching Holton sign with an NFL team and kind of start his journey. What was that like as his best friend, as his brother?
It was kind of shocking. At the same time, I was, like, just, like, ready to, like, see the whole experience and how it all played out, because I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, like, we was just side by side. Now, like, the dreams that, like, what we grew up talking about our whole life, like, it's happening.
Slowly,
like,
just
yeah, like, it's like, I want to see my brother, like, do it. Like, he living his dream. I'm up next. I can't wait. Like, I was happy to see him get out there. Anytime the Vikings was on TV or anytime he was playing, I'm in front of the screen. And if he on the TV, I'm yelling. If you say something bad, you going to have to look at me about it.
Okay, so then fast forward a year. So you've been watching Holton play for the Vikings for a year. You said that you guys really only talked maybe once or twice about the possibility of you actually going to Minnesota. So what was that like to, enter draft weekend yourself?
Oh man, I kind of wanted to just relax during the whole draft process, during the whole combine process. Most people want to overwhelm themselves or think too much. I was like, hey, I'm gonna chill. I can only control what I can control. So I'm gonna let everything else play out. And I got that call. I wasn't even rushing. Even being a 7th-round draft pick, I never really seen it as a problem. I was just blessed to have my name called. So just going through that whole process and get my name called, it was all a blessing. And then when the Vikings called, I answered. They was talking to me, letting me know what was gonna happen. I literally was walking. I was outside by myself in the backyard. My whole family was there. I walk inside. I stand up on the fireplace. I'm smiling. They don't know what's going on. And instantly, when I hung up the phone, when I looked up, the first thing I said was, "I'm going with Hollywood." and everybody was just happy. It was just even a bigger blessing.
So Holton, during that process, I know you guys did talk on the phone, and I'll ask about that in a second, but were you watching the draft, and were you kind of keeping tabs on it to see when Kris would get selected, or were you just kind of waiting to hear from him?
Oh, no, I was tuned in. I was most definitely tuned into that draft. waiting to see what my boy ended up at, and, a year later, look at us now.
Yeah.
That's awesome, you guys. Such a crazy story. Thank you so much for sharing. One last thing that I wanted to ask of both of you is, obviously, as we're ramping up for this year's draft, we know that with everything going on right now with the COVID-19 pandemic and the different regulations on social gatherings and things, the NFL draft is going to look different, but it is still going to happen. Prospects are still going to get drafted and start their NFL dream. If each one of you, and maybe we'll start with Holton, if you could give a piece of advice to this year's draft prospects, what would you tell them?
If I can give one piece of advice, I would say, enjoy the draft process, embrace the whole process, even from getting your name called to not getting your name called. Just try to turn everything into a positive and just use it to motivate yourself to go into that next chapter.
Kris, how about you? What would you tell guys?
Pretty much the same thing what he said, because it's important. I just tell them please enjoy this whole process no matter what happens. From what you expect to what you don't expect. No matter what, you only get this once in a lifetime opportunity, and all you really need is an opportunity to just get your foot in the door. If a team even just call you and give you the opportunity to come, you come up there, you show up and you show out. Take advantage of every opportunity you're given. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at the negatives, always look at the positives, and just be thankful, because I most definitely was thankful and blessed for every opportunity.
Great, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we will talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So